$2,400 if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and Railroad benefits, plus a 20% increase lifetime, and then a step up every year. Wow, this is just incredible. Meantime, I'm getting viewers a lot of money, and this is money right now, $15,000, $16,000. I mean, you could be next. And this is even if you're on SSI or SSDI. What's going on, and what's going on for your second stimulus? Will the president push to do second stimulus now that Georgia's really in play for those 2 Senate seats? And why was Mike Pence there campaigning? Does this all suggest that stimulus is coming right away? I have the breaking details for you, and thank you for joining me at the bottom of the hour for the continuation of Early Mornings LALATE. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Early Mornings LALATE, the 6:30 edition. I'm so glad you joined me. This is the part 2 of a 2-part show every morning here on Early Mornings LA. It starts at 6 a.m. and then goes to 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Boy, if you've not subscribed, please do, because I am literally filtering and receiving incredible information about how to get $5, $10, $15,000 in grant money. This is free money. This is stimulus money. This is money for your rent and for your food across the country, even if you're on SSI, even if your rent's $850 a day, that's another show. $855 a day. Wow. $850 a month. What's important to understand is I'm getting these people this money, and I want to ensure that you get the money. And ultimately, when I hear something unusual, like this is how you do something in Houston, Texas for grant, or this is how you do something specific in South Florida for grant, I'm sharing it on the community pages channel, which you only see if you subscribe. I'm making a post or I'm making videos saying, this is a new development. I'm going live every night, and I'm saying this is something that broke. Last night I went live and I found out 3 things myself. That's the power of a community that grows. And as a community gets bigger and a lot of people that help each other, which is the spirit of this channel, this is how you get the information. So please subscribe. Also, like this video. In this video, I'll be going over why it's so important to really stay on focus for these grants, because you only have a few more weeks. Then I'll be turning back to Congress. What's going on with Donald Trump and Mike Pence, and does a single signal that a stimulus package is coming? If you've not noticed, to the side is a super chat. This is an instant premiere, yes, so you can live chat while you're watching this video. It's featured every morning on Early Mornings LA. It's an enhanced viewing experience, so you can chat with your friends. And as the same 60,000 viewers tune in every morning, and they interact with each other, and it's great. You can get your cup of coffee and see familiar faces across the country, and interact with people about things like grants. And that's how you find one another. And so if you're watching on the side and you have a question about grants, do you know a grant in Missouri? Someone may respond back to you. And that's the power of a live chat. And so with that, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news as you sit here today is that there's renewed optimism that a second stimulus package will pass during the holidays because of the fight for the 2 Georgia seats. It initially looked like the fight for the 2 seats in the Georgia race would cause no stimulus to be passed, and then ultimately both sides were going to blame each other for no stimulus. But now it looks like both sides want to pass stimulus to use that as a way to bank in votes on January 5th for the 2 Senate Georgia seats. Those 2 Senate Georgia seats will determine the balance of power in the Senate and ultimately how much stimulus you'll get in next year. But now they're trying to get the stimulus package approved now because of the threat of not winning those Senate seats. A little peculiar? Yeah, it is peculiar. But ultimately, if it works and it gets you stimulus, so be it. What would be in a second stimulus package? It would be a stimulus check. It would be on unemployment benefits. It would be some testing and tracing. It would be some PPP. And the holdup for it has been ultimately that Mitch McConnell didn't want to pay for it. But now we have all this found money that is coming back to Washington and can be repurposed. And you know what's ironic about this? As one viewer clearly made a comment in last night's evening check video. You know, LALATE, no one was saying the word repurpose until you were saying the word repurpose. And after you said it, Steve Mnuchin said the word repurpose. And after you said it, Larry Kudlow said the word repurpose. And do you see a sort of trend here? And I do see a trend here. I'm not being egomaniacal. I do see a trend here. Larry Kudlow has talked about repurposing the money, and Steve Mnuchin actually wrote a letter to Nancy Pelosi and Congress saying just repurpose existing CARES Act 1 money and send it out right now as a narrowly tailored bill. We don't have to spend money. Now it's a little bit more obvious because it's not, $200. Now we're approaching $1.62 trillion of unused CARES Act 1 money. I mean, it's a lot of money. So the holdup to not do stimulus because the Republicans is no longer a holdup because they don't have to spend the money. And what's the excuse of the Democrats? The Democrats will have no real excuse because everything that they want can be offered to them because there's enough money potentially of unused CARES Act 1 money. It's just so obvious. So you need to be on Purple Power. You need to be on social media, Purple Power, and sharing this video and tagging politicians. Say, hey, all that CARES Act 1 money, use it and do it as a stimulus package and get it done. Federal Reserve returning CARES Act 1 money. Steve Mnuchin confirming on Friday he has another $800 billion of unused CARES Act 1 money. And, of course, there's that SBA CARES Act 1 money of $800 billion. You can do the math. It's a lot of money. It's enough to do a second stimulus package and get it done right now. Next, $2,400. Yes, Joe Biden wants to give you $2,400 if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, or railroad benefits. He wants to give it to you because he thinks you did not get enough stimulus relief during this pandemic. I agree. You may not have gotten a stimulus check at all because you are an adult dependent. Adult dependents did not get a stimulus package. But what's important to understand is that he wants to give you $200 a month all the way to December 31st of next year. And that amounts to about $4,000 to $1,000. And it's really good because he doesn't stop there. He wants to increase your benefits lifetime by upwards of 20%. Yeah. So if you're paid $1,000 a month, he wants you to get $1,200 a month. Then he wants to also tag your benefits to a new benchmark that would increase it more annually. All really good news. But the thing is, it's not money right now. It's not coming this week. It's not coming this coming Monday. It's not coming right now. And what I need you to do is get money right now. And that's why we're so focused on this CARES Act 1 money. I'm always excited and hopeful when within about a 48-hour window of me starting to tell a new thing that's very important, I have viewers telling it back to me and understanding it better than how I said it. So what's important to understand is when I first was talking about go get this right now money, go get it right now, it's sitting in your cities and counties. It's rental grant. It's $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 in rental grant, free rent money, or otherwise called rental assistance money. It's stimulus checks. It's in utilities grants. Go get it. Some viewers initially saying, I just want to hear about stimulus check. I said, why do you want to hear about stimulus check? There is no stimulus check. It is not in the mail. And you're waiting for $1,200. I'm getting people $15,000. Why do you want to wait for $1,200 when you can have $15,000? And as more and more people got the money, then people realized, wait a second, what am I doing? Why am I so preoccupied about Nancy Pelosi giving me a $500 stimulus check when I can get $15,000? And that's how it sort of grew very quickly. Now, what's important to understand is that you have to work out of the box if you're in a major city. So I do sometimes have viewers from Los Angeles, where I am here, New York City, and Chicago. Major cities may have spent the rental grant money before, but and I know in the case of New York and LA, they did because I did videos on them in August and September. And so you may have to be a little bit more inventive in those cities and do utility grants by calling up the utilities company and say, hey, do you have utility assistance programs? I'm having problems with the utilities bill because of the pandemic. Can you give me some assistance, aka free money? And that's a way to work around it. Now, let's turn back to everyone else. Florida, generally doing really well. Florida has a lot of rental grants, county by county by county. That's one of the real late to the prom people that are doing a lot of grants for rent and utilities. Ohio, I have an entire person who is volunteering for people finding rent in Ohio. I have another person who's helping people across the countries, and that person I drop in the community page of this channel if you subscribe, and that person's able to find you assistance. The important thing that I've been imparting in the last 24 hours is work outside the box and use simple words. Simple words. Don't say LALATE. Don't say complicated words like SSI and SSDI. Make it very simple. I'm looking for, and this is what happened on Saturday. I told you to say COVID grants, and the word grant was tripping up, confusing some call center dispatchers. So they're like, well, what is that? What is a grant? I don't know what a grant is. And then when people start saying assistance, oh yeah, of course. So what you're trying to impart is I want to see if there's money to cover my rent, to pay for my rent, and money to pay for my utilities because of the pandemic. And that's how you'll land in the correct place. I think I've gotten viewers pretty sophisticated now to understand what words to use and what words not to use. Don't say LLA told you to call, because that happened the first few days. I was just, no, don't do that. Then some people were adding qualifiers, which is just wrong. Don't use a qualifier to it like, I'm looking for SSI grants. No, it's not SSI grants. It's I'm looking for an SSD grant. No, I'm looking for veterans grants. No, that totally confuses the situation because you're looking for assistance on paying something that is causing a problem because of the pandemic, and that those assistance plans are generally rental plans. And so you're going in there, understand you're looking for a COVID grant, but it's generally a rental assistance grant. And then sometimes people don't use the word grant, they use assistance. So that's how you find it. Next, it's administered by your cities or counties, but in some cases, rent is not run by the city and the county. Sometimes it's done by the housing authority in states. So that's what makes it confusing. Next, I have some people who have found success with private or religious grant programs, and those I have dropped in the community page. That in the case of Houston and the case of Alabama, and those are thousands of dollars. So it's important to understand is that this money is there. I want you to go get it, and I want you to get it right now. There's ultimately always a viewer that asks about hazard pay. You're going to get hazard pay on the second stimulus package. You're not going to get hazard pay before the holidays. I don't see that happening. Will you see hazard pay next year? Yes, I believe you will. Could you get hazard pay locally before the holidays? Yes. So some cities and counties are paying hazard pay to their workers, but they're calling it bonus pay. And then in some cases, big box retailers are paying bonus pay if you are working in the big box retailer, whether part-time, full-time, or overtime. So get that as well. It's important to understand that when you're looking for free money like this, do not preconceive in your mind that you're disqualified. There's ultimately someone says, I don't know if I should look because it'll disqualify me from something else. I don't know if I should look because my rent's really high. They won't pay my rent. I ultimately just look. I mean, you're watching this channel because you want the money, correct? Yeah, you want the money. So go look and find the money. And then if you have questions about it, ask the people that administer the program. They'll explain it to you. That's the purpose of having the program. Finally, one of the most important messages I always have to impart to people, and I think that this message is working. Keep it positive. Keep it positive, and then ultimately you will end up with a call center operator who's going to be rude. Brush it off. I'm preparing you right now. There's going to be at least one call center operator who's going to be rude to you. Brush it off and just sort of ignore it. Then I really do thank everyone in this community for really stepping up. There are now 2 people helping other people find grants. If you are able to help other people find grants because you're good with a computer, or I was able to help you get a grant and you're able to return the favor by helping other people, that's greatly appreciated. So go on Twitter and DM me at LALATE, or go on Instagram, send me a DM on Instagram at LALATE_, at Facebook at LALATE, and say what handle or Instagram or Twitter account people can contact you for assistance in finding these grants. It really appreciate it. Ultimately, I fully understand that there are some seniors who watch this channel who are just not sophisticated with anything beyond a phone. And some people may be watching this with, a Roku device on their TV, and they don't even know how to maneuver certain things when I'm telling them these things. And so that is always my concern. So the more people that can help, the better it is. Ultimately, I'm only one person, and the more the people that are helping, it always really, it is the spirit of this community. With that, join me at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for Mornings at LALATE. I'll have big blockbuster updates then as well. And then join me at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time for Holidays at LALATE, which continues to be a big success. I really appreciate all the patronage. It's a lighthearted show just like this. As always, go to the front channel, subscribe, and also like this video. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay LALATE for more.